All right, we're back for another video back on YouTube. It's been about, I think, 2 weeks for some high value English. This is number 39, so only 3 lessons left. And then that's my whole set. And actually, this is a new one. This lesson, actually, I haven't really, this is, it's not a new topic, but I decided to put this in. I think it's important. And so, yeah, this is definitely high value, very native style. So, and it's actually building off of one of the lessons we did before. I call it the bonus explainers, those words of who and which and where. These words not in their question mode. We attach them kind of in the middle of a sentence, like I went to a store. What kind of store? I'll explain. Which? Okay, so this word signals that, oh, this noun or object I just said, I'm going to pause the story and explain what kind. Which, sells, I don't know, sells fresh coffee beans. Okay, so it's a coffee bean store. I owned a store, but it was closed. Okay, so that's the story. I went to a store, but it was closed. Okay, so but I want to explain. It looks like maybe you're curious. Oh, you look like you want to know. You want to ask me what kind of store. So I'll just attach that right in the middle. Okay, and let's say another one, I met my friend. Well, who is it? Who is it? Oh, I'll tell you. Pause the story. Who, let's see, who works for Google? I don't know. Is that important? Is that important to the story? Maybe no. At Starbucks. Okay, so I met my friend at Starbucks. That's the main story. But if, maybe you want to know, maybe this will help you remember who this friend is, my Google friend who works at Google, things like that. And I guess, should I do one for where? So I teach at a school, and oh yeah, what happens there? What kind of school is it? Well, at this school, in the school, where the children all wear uniforms. Okay, so this wear. Now this is a place, but it's more talking about this situation, and I guess that means humans do something there, or something happens in this. It could be a place, could be a time. It could be a lot of different things. It's just it's a situation. We're uniforms, and then so I teach at a school. What kind of school? Pause my story. Now I'll continue. 5 days a week, for example. So this is the main story. I teach at a school 5 days a week. Oh yeah. Let me tell you. Let me help you imagine what kind of school. Okay. Kids wear uniforms. Okay, so that's a little review of these bonus explainers. And so now we're going to do, actually, this is a native style lesson because it's actually bonus explainers deleted. Okay, so again, this high value, we're trying to communicate a strong message or the same message to a listener that they'll immediately understand in as few words as possible. So we're always trying to cut words out and communicate the same message. And actually, yeah, this is a topic that if you're an expert at this style, perfect, no problem, right? You've got total control over these bonus explainers. That's amazing. That's great. However, there are many cases where native speakers will just cut them. And so this is where this is important for the listening. Okay, so your writing, your speaking may be excellent, maybe amazing. But for listening, there's instances where the native speakers will just, we don't have to say them, and we understand. Native speakers understand. So I'm going to say, I broke this into two different cases. This is maybe I'll call it ing style. I like saying that. That's just what I call it. And so, for example, we'll say, get rid of this bold. Let's say I saw a man, who was running from police. Okay, wow. And we'll say this is, I saw a man yesterday. Okay, so in our usual pattern, we'll say this is the main story. I saw a man yesterday. We'll use some colors. So we'll say this is, say purple. Okay, and this is like, oh, well, what kind of man? Okay, we'll say this is the bonus information, right from police. Although that is pretty interesting. Wow, that's interesting. Now here's what you can do. You can actually say, we're actually going to cut the who. Okay, I saw a man. And actually, we're going to also cut the was as well and just go straight to I saw a man running from police. So this, the main verb is I saw a man. Now, what was he doing, or what kind of man, or help me to imagine. Explain the man. He was running. He was running from police. Okay, or you could say, let's say this. You could say, and he was. Okay, or, the short word, who was running from police. Or, hey, I think I understand what you mean. You'll just take it out. Running from police. So now this is we're trying to cut words down, and this verb comes after the noun to explain, well, what was he doing? Okay, so yeah, this is important, I think, for the listening. Okay, so you can immediately understand a verb before and a verb after the noun or object here. Okay, anyway, let's do some more. I was walking in the park and I saw a turtle. Now, what was turtling? Which was bathing in the sun. Okay, that means, yeah, sitting, bathe means, taking in the sun. We call that sun bathing. Okay, so I was walking in the park, saw a turtle, which was bathing in the sun. So, yep. Now, you could say, yeah, this is just a little bonus. Oh, well, what was it doing? Help me to imagine. What kind of turtle? What was the turtle doing? You take this out. Saw a turtle bathing in the sun. So again, I saw, that's a verb, saw. Oh, again, saw, same thing. Saw a turtle. And then after the turtle, bathing in the sun. Okay, this is totally normal. Let's see. I'm dating a man. What kind of man? We'll say, yeah, who is studying to become a doctor. Oh, wow. So now this is not just a regular guy. He sounds super smart. Okay. So, and so yeah, again, this is first we'll do the ing style. So this can come out. Dating a man, studying to become a doctor. Okay, and notice how, yeah, often for people, maybe that's a good practice style. You could say, we could start dating a man, working at Google, right? Dating a man, living 1 hour away from me. Oh no. Okay, so yeah, all the different types of human, you can attach kind of an ing verb. It'll probably work. I'm dating a man let's see, designing websites, I don't know, for bakeries. Okay, so that's this man, his job. He's a web designer. A man who is designing websites. Well, for bakeries, that's his expertise. Okay. Let's see. And how about one more? Yeah, this will be a short video, and this could be a new topic for some students. That we're definitely trying to cut words down. It's not. I recommend it for the listening. There were two children. Okay, and we'll say, oh, those are humans who were flying kites on the beach. Okay, so flying. That means the kite's in the air. They're holding the string. The kids are flying, or they were flying kites. And same thing here. So two children, and then you take this out. We don't need children flying kites. That's it. Okay, so I guess luckily or fortunately, if you have a good control over the bonus explainers, who is, which are, which were, who were, you can just take them out, and this will work, I'm pretty sure. Okay, and we'll just add the colors to make it clear. So two children, purple, and then what kind of kids, or what were they doing? Help me to imagine. Right? Question. Yeah, what kind of kids? What were they doing? Or just kind of, help me imagine this scene. Right? That's what I mean, bonus explainers. It's not so important to the story, but it helps me to imagine, helps the listener. Okay? So now let's go to number 2. Let's say this. This is the passive version. Okay, so that means to this object or this noun, something happened to it. Make some examples. I'll have the steak. I'll have my steak because it's for me. And we'll say, well, steak is the item, so which is cooked by the chef or whoever, right? This is passive case, so it means the actor. I don't know who, or it's not important, right? I'll do a little review here. So, for example, my I always use that. My pizza was eaten. Right? Who did it? I don't know. I don't know who did it. Okay, by someone. But the someone means I don't know the name, so it doesn't make sense to include it, so we don't have to say. Okay? So I'll have my steak, which is cooked by the chef. What do I say? Medium rare, please. So that's the, cooking level, a little bit cooked, still pink on the inside. Okay, so this passive style, we don't have, by the chef. Yep, we're at a restaurant. We can understand, so this is taken out. And same thing here. I'm going to say, what kind of steak? Well, you can just take this out and say, I'll have my steak cooked. So that item cooked by the staff, by the chef, medium rare. Okay, so I think this is the same. I think you can use the bonus explainer style, cut things out, and you can upgrade your listening to this more native speaking style. Again, for the listening. All right. Let's do more. Don't need that. Let's see. I bought this whiskey, which was aged for 19 years in oak barrels. Okay, so it's a type of whiskey. So go from steak now to this whiskey, which was aged. Well, who did it? By the whiskey maker. What is that called? Distillery? I don't know. I'm not sure if that I think that's the alcohol maker. So this is passive tense, which was aged by the company, by the maker, for 19 years in oak barrels. Okay, so that's part of the explanation. Here too, so it was aged. That means, you leave it somewhere for a long time and it changes. So here too, we'll just take this out. Aged for 19 years. And this also, yep, we don't need this. I bought this whiskey aged for 19 years in oak barrels. I think it's too often whiskey, they take this out too. Aged 19 years. So that's the fastest version here. Bought this whiskey aged in oak barrels. All right. So this age talks about what kind of whiskey? How old is it? How expensive is it? This usually means expensive. Okay. How about the company released software? Let's say new software. What kind of software? Which was developed over 5 years. Okay. So again, which this was developed, that means, by engineers. Okay. I might say, yeah, that's fine. Or 5 years. Okay, so this is kind of similar. So 5 years ago, same thing, 19 years. So we'll take this out too. So which was developed, would just take this part out. Right? New software developed over 5 years. We can understand. Take this out too. All right. I like using the colors. This one is purple. This one's green. All right. So let's see. That's another one. How about this one? We'll do one more in this style. For my mother's birthday, I ordered a photo which was printed and framed professionally. Okay, so I think getting a little bit more complicated here. So a little introductory part. For the birthday, now the sentence begins, I ordered a photo. What kind of photo? Well, professionally printed and framed. So, yep, professionally by who? By professionals. Right? So, yeah, that's a good case where the adverb communicates, you don't need to know who did it. The adverb tells you by professionals, by a store, at a store or something. All right. And so same thing here. The photo, what kind of photo? Help me to imagine it. I want to imagine in my mind just a regular, photo from, somewhere. No. This is from a real store. So we'll take this out. Printed and framed professionally. And take that out too. Okay. So, yep. Again, I think this is the interesting part. You have to become used to the object or a noun here having I ordered a photo. So ordered is before, and then after, this case, two verbs. What kind of photo? Printed and then framed. All right. So yeah, I think I want to go slowly, but I think this is not too difficult. Now let's do I have some where we'll put them both together. Oh no. So this is another level up. We'll say, I heard my neighbor. And maybe we'll try just speaking it. We'll say neighbor's a human. So say who, this is past tense. We'll say who was I'm going to say screaming and yelling. Okay, so a screaming and yelling neighbor. And this part to remember, who was screaming and yelling. Now, why? About his window. Now, well, what about the window? What kind of window? We'll say, okay, window's an object, so which, this is still past tense, and you're gonna use that passive style, which was, say, broken by my son. Uh-oh. Okay, so look at this is two parts together. Heard my neighbor. What kind of neighbor? Screaming and yelling. And remember that this case, the ing version is over time. It's taking time, screaming, yelling. About his window. What kind of window? Well, it was broken. In this case, the past tense, a passive, means he didn't do it. The neighbor didn't do it. It was somebody else, another person. And in this case, I'll explain, by my son. Okay, so we'll take these out. And this is the final native version. Okay, so we'll say screaming and yelling. Let's say, I'll add some colors here too. I think it helps. Oh, or actually, we gotta go. Okay, let's just go on. Here we go. I walked with my dog. The dog is an animal, not a human. We'll say which was sniffing every flower. Now, the flower, I'm going to say who put it there? I don't know. Every flower, which, flower is an item, object, which was planted in the park. Okay, so I walked with my dog. The dog is doing what? The dog, which was sniffing every flower. What kind of flower? Which was planted in the park by a gardener. Okay, so I think, you can see this is the full version, but look at all these words that are cut. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words, boom, gone. And the same message being communicated. This is the high value, right? And listening is always the highest value. You can choose that you're speaking or you're writing. You can include everything. It's all in there. Perfect. No problem. But for listening, native people usually speak in this way, where these words are gone. So for the listening, for the sake of listening, I recommend it. One last one. My wife made pancakes. Okay, what kind of pancakes? We'll say dripping with maple syrup. So drip. That's when, some water or something liquid falls down. Drip, 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 drip. So dripping with maple syrup looks, now you can imagine it looks like some kind of commercial on TV. Maple syrup. What kind of maple syrup? Who made it? Where's it from? Maple syrup, which was made in Canada. So, whoa, very authentic, very, traditional syrup here. So do the same thing. Which were, maybe that's a good part. So here, this is plural. So now, oh no, which verb is it? Which was, which is, I don't know. Well, now you can cut it out. Don't worry about it. Just say, pancakes dripping. Now you don't have to worry about if it's plural or single. With maple syrup, which was, syrup is single, or it's uncountable. So we say which was made in Canada, and then we take it out. All right. Okay, good. That's for now, that is the advice. Now just be careful. I think I'm going to do this later. Let's see, maybe a little warning. There is another case where native speaking says, for example, I went to sleep last night exhausted. Okay, so now we have, I'm going to do this later, but for now, just practice, I recommend this pattern, but there are other cases where the I went to sleep, you could say, and I was, or let's say, because I was exhausted. So now you have, there are other cases where you have another verb here at the end, but the actual, the actor is I. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have put this in. But anyway, we'll do that later. Don't worry about it. And I recommend put your original sentences in the comments. I'll try to help you there. And we'll see you in the next video.